Ladies and gentlemen, we present our next contest, which is a featherweight contest. Would you please welcome into the ring, firstly from Keighley, Peter Judson.
For Peter Judson, the 25-year-old from Keighley, he's got a bit of a mixed record. That's Nat Basso alongside him. It's his first fight for Nat Basso, who signed him just 3 months ago. But I know, having spoken to him earlier on today in the hotel, that he's really up for this, and he fancies he might cause a shock against the former world featherweight champion, Colin McMillan. Says he's in the best shape ever. Well, fighters do tend to say that kind of thing every fight, but I think this time he probably means it. It's a great opportunity for him.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, into the ring, the former featherweight champion of the world, Colin McMillan.
Well, there were people describing this young man, Colin McMillan, as Britain's answer to Sugar Ray Leonard 3 or 4 years ago, but his career has taken a downward turn. He won a world championship, lost it 4 months later. He had all sorts of problems with his shoulder injury. He's now had major surgery, costing £20,000 to get it right. Can he re-establish himself?
Well, he's got certainly a good chance. He was a tremendous fighter a few years ago, great skills, but them injuries, you know, he's been plagued with them injuries. Let's hope he can get them over with now.
Intriguing fight, this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present a featherweight contest of 8 3-minute rounds between, firstly, introducing in the red corner, wearing the black trunks with gold trim, from Keighley, would you welcome, please, Peter Judson.
That's his record for you.
And his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, across the ring in the blue corner, wearing the green and the gold trunks, coming from Barking in East London, the former undefeated British and Commonwealth featherweight champion and former featherweight champion of the world, Colin Sweet C. McMillan. At the official weigh-in, ladies and gentlemen, Peter Judson scale 9 stone 1 3/4 pounds. Colin McMillan, 9 stone 2 pounds. Your referee for this contest, Mr. Denzel Lewis.
Due to go 8 rounds, this one, and intriguing to see McMillan. He's still a star, like our 2 guests upstairs tonight, Barry McGuigan and Nicky Piper, a leading light in the Boxers Union, the Professional Boxers Association. Great work they're doing. But McMillan has more important matters on his mind here, like getting his own career back up towards the top. He's had a couple of comeback wins against Harry Escott. He looked a bit lethargic in that one, then beat Mark Hargraves, stopping him in 4 rounds. And those 3 defeats, 2 of them were in world title fights. The night he lost his title against Ruben Palacio when he had the shoulder injury, and then beaten by Steve Robinson, the Welshman who holds the WBO featherweight championship. And McMillan was obviously not properly fit. Well, they've got the ring in shape at last, and Denzel Lewis waves them in. Just watch for the sweet boxing skills of McMillan, but there'll be pressure, pressure, pressure all the way from this Yorkshireman Judson, who's already talking to McMillan. Good contrast of styles here, and McMillan, I think, might need all those sweet, elusive boxing skills that he possesses.
He will. That's what he's got to concentrate on. He's got to keep moving, keep using his good boxing skills. But Judson, he's psyched up. He wants this one. We spoke to him today, and he said this is a great opportunity for him, and he wants to take it.
Now Judson is leering at McMillan, trying to psych him. Real pressure fighter, Judson, and beginning to unload on McMillan, who's making him miss quite a bit, to be honest with you.
But it's a strong attack, and he's getting through with some good right hands to the body.
Very good start, this, from Peter Judson from Keighley in Yorkshire.
McMillan came back with shots there, but Judson still stood in front of him, just picked them off and continued his assault.
McMillan certainly can't afford to be losing fights like these. And he has to match the fire of the man in front of him. He's got to have that desire. Fast start from Judson, though. Exactly what he was looking to do. McMillan getting in with a few good body punches of his own. Well, that looked a bit low from McMillan, the right hand. Wasn't pulled up by the referee, but definitely strayed below the border, that. Interesting one, this.
It is. Judson's doing the right thing. He's got to come forward. He hasn't got to give Colin McMillan any room, because we've seen him. He's a very, very stylish boxer. So Judson hasn't got to give him room. Keep on top of him.
McMillan's come back well in the second half of the round after that very fast start from Judson. Good right hand as well from the former world champion in the green trunks, Colin Sweet C, as he calls himself, McMillan. Classy combination too. Now he's beginning to just give us a little glimpse of some of those dazzling skills that took him to the top. Not bad defense from Judson. He's getting his gloves up well, and his arms are blocking some of those punches. Second round, McMillan in the green trunks, the former WBO world featherweight champion, and I remember the night he won that title against Maurizio Stecca, the Italian, and he was really excellent. Right hand lead now from McMillan. Gone southpaw, just trying to confuse Judson. Judson, who's lost 10 and won 17 with 4 draws. It's a pretty mixed old record. Would be a shock if he could beat McMillan, wouldn't it?
It would be. I think in the first round, Judson did the right thing in the first 2 minutes, where he gave constant pressure. But that, in the last minute of the first round, the pressure just slipped, and that gave McMillan the room to do what he does best, and that's his dazzling boxing skills. So I think if Judson wants to do anything in this fight, he's got to do what he did in the first 2 minutes of the first round. That's keep the pressure on really, really tight.
He's got to get a bit closer, isn't he, too, to McMillan? He's got to close the range, stay on top of him.
That's correct. He's got to be one step further in. He's got to have really a relentless pressure, and it's going to be very hard to do that.
Yes, he started off really well, but then just eased that pressure and let McMillan find his rhythm, which he's beginning to do now, possibly a little ominously. Still fighting out of the southpaw stance, McMillan. Judson, that looked a bit low from him too. He's never been down in 31 contests, so he's plenty durable enough. His problem has tended to be that he is a pretty light hitter comparatively. All professional boxers can hit you pretty hard, but within the terms of the game. Now McMillan is smiling and saying the odd word in there to Judson.
Yes, but Judson is still, he's taken up quite well. He's moving forward, and he seems to be concentrating on the body, and I think that could be a good idea. But now we see McMillan moving around, getting his shots off very well. He's really starting to just slip into his rhythm.
Looks nicely in control now, McMillan. He's got his composure. And after that brief early fire, he's beginning to just turn in the old razzle-dazzle. Back leading with the left again now, McMillan, and he has, I think, just confused and bemused Judson in this round.
Yes, he has very good boxing skills, using the ring very well.
Well, at the end of that round, it's Barry McGuigan's old weight division. This, I wonder how he's assessing Colin McMillan on the comeback trail.
I think McMillan is doing extremely well. he started off a little bit unsettled by the rushes of his opponent, but he has settled down very well. He's keeping that long jab working and moving around the centre of the ring, not allowing Judson to pressurise him. He's subdued him completely now with fast-handed work from different angles. Now he needs to start sitting down on his punches and really driving home these punches. That's what he's lacked in his last couple of comeback fights. He needs to sit down on his punches and punch really hard. He's got Judson where he wants him. He needs to put some quality punches together.
Thanks, Barry. Let's see if McMillan does that as we move into round 3. Howard Rainey training him along with John Ashton.
Seconds up, round 3.
Third round. And if you want to watch technical skills and craftsmanship, well, you couldn't do too much better than McMillan on the British scene. He is good to watch when he really is performing, isn't he?
Yes, he has been compared with Sugar Ray Leonard, and that is high praise indeed, but when he's in full flow, his boxing skills are very good.
Now really putting together the punches in clusters here. I wonder if he can chalk up an inside schedule win here. Usually he has to go the long route. Only 11 of his 25 wins have come inside the distance. But Judson at the moment is finding himself outclassed. Punches coming at him from all angles.
He has nothing. Also the skills where McMillan switches from southpaw to orthodox, that's frustrating him a little bit. He does it so well. He's a natural in both stances.
Sharp southpaw jabs from McMillan. Still plenty willing enough in there. That really was a touch of the old Sugar Ray Leonard's, that, wasn't it, from McMillan there, just pretending to be hurt for a moment, almost mocking his opponent, and then suddenly slipping into a higher gear. Seen that somewhere before.
Yes, I think a man called Muhammad Ali did that quite well, didn't he, in some of his title fights.
There we go. He switched again now, leading with the right. McMillan. Tough assignment for Judson. Well conditioned and fired up as he is going into this one.
Yes, it was always going to be hard for him to beat McMillan. You've got to really keep up a relentless pace, and he did that for the first 2 minutes of the fight, but then, you know, unfortunately it takes a great deal of fitness and ability to do that, and he just couldn't keep that up.
And McMillan will be thinking that if he can just put together a little series of wins, maybe he'll be knocking on the door at World Championship level yet again. But after all his injury problems, every fight and every round, although he took a right hand there, is going to just, you'd hope, build up his confidence again.
So Judson keeping his hands up, still walking forward, still trying to throw shots.
McMillan presenting the mobile target, off walkies around the ring. Well, that looked low from Judson, who had a bit more success in the last minute of that round.